We are ready to go. Reportedly, Jim Harbaugh hacked the system because he just didn't want us tarnishing his his name in a bad way following his suspension. 3 games, I think, is the remaining of the season for Michigan. If you guys, you had to heard by now. If you didn't, he is suspended for the remaining 3 games of the Michigan season. He can coach during the week, but he can't be on the sideline. I asked Matt, does that mean he can at least be up in the booth? He says no, he can't be there.
No, he can't be in the vicinity and game day.
Correct.
It's a weird punishment. Like, I've never heard that. Like, yeah, you can coach during the week, but you can't coach during games.
It's real Big Ten-ish.
It is very Big Ten-ish. It's kind of a slap on the wrist, honestly. Like, if they're going to punish it, like, actually do it. Don't just...
I feel like they got pressured into having to do something. And that's why, by the way, like, they already flew to, Penn State?
Yeah,
Penn State, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're already there. I don't get how, like, it could happen that way. We all have the coach, like, the whole week, flying the plane with the team, land, and you're like, hey, by the way, there's already, like, litigation, a judgment will arrive on, by the way, happy birthday to the Marine Corps out there, too. But either way, there's a judge that's going to, like, make a special case where he's able to show up despite the holiday, and what they're going to try to do is motion where this has to be, like, suspended until, like, all investigation is thoroughly, like, just done and finished. Which in that case, obviously, the way we've seen this thing play out tons of times, or anytime anybody big is in trouble, it's like...
That's the injunction that Michigan fans are asking for, is for the suspension to be halted, the suspension to be not there until further investigation, complete investigation is done. So I'm not sure what's going on. There's going to be a lot more to come out of this story in the next couple days. But as of right now, Jim Harbaugh is suspended for the last 3 games of the regular season for Michigan.
Which is crazy because Ohio State is currently ranked number 1.
Yes.
Michigan number 3. It was already, I thought they were going to beat Ohio State either way.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird that Michigan's even ranked number 3. I guess I get it through, like, the course of schedule. Ohio State's remain undefeated. That obviously makes sense, but on paper, I would say, you think Michigan's a better team, right?
Yes.
I figured so, too. Well, I think that game's a kind of a toss-up now. Am I tripping? I don't know. Toss up a lot. I mean, it feels different now than it did before.
I don't know if it makes that much of a difference. I'm not sure it makes that big of a difference having them on the sidelines or not. Like, I think they're a better team. They're going to go out there and they're going to win still.
I think it makes a difference, man. I mean, you know how I pick my games a lot of times, is like quarterbacks and coaches, and you know who I perceive is better. I mean, we have 2 Michigan fans in the studio right now. On top of it, UFC fighter 2 will be joining us. That's my guy Charles Johnson. Stay tuned for that. Lucas has agreed to take the leg kick, by the way. So at some point, Lucas
is taking the leg kick?
Lucas is taking the leg kick.
Oh,
He's
shit.
taking one for the team. But Gentry, I guess I'll start with you because we haven't heard from you in a minute. I know you're a big Michigan fan. First of all, what's your takeaway from this? And then the Ohio State game, because I feel like it's a lot closer now than before.
I still do think the injunction will be filed or whatever, and he'll be able to coach the rest of the season. So I'm not too really worried about that. But I am surprised. I thought it was going to come earlier in the day. I didn't know they were actually going to wait till this man got on the plane. But I mean, I'm a little surprised, honestly, too, because even if they weren't going to do it today, I thought it would still be after the Penn State game where they did something. So I'm surprised in that aspect, too. So
Nick?
Yeah, I'm surprised that they had the the balls to actually suspend Jim Harbaugh. I thought that the Big Ten would not do that. I didn't think that they would come at Michigan like that. They must have, clear-cut evidence on Michigan. So this sucks that for Michigan in this national championship run, if they slip up one of these 3 games, it's over. So, and you don't have your head coach now to go into that. It's a little disappointing as a Michigan fan to see it, their head coach go down in this way.
You sound a little flustered.
I'm not thrilled as a Michigan fan. This is their year to win the championship, and this is a big dent in that run.
Yeah.
I think I'm surprised you guys are, like, still confident in this Ohio State game. I feel like I'd be a little bit nervous. I mean, you should already be. I mean, it's a rivalry game either way. I get they blew them out last year, but like you just never know what's going to happen in these games. And now you're missing, like, I mean, whether you like him or not, Jim Harbaugh's a phenomenal coach.
Absolutely,
he's a great head coach.
Yeah.
And now you're missing that key piece against a guy that's been gunning for you, preparing for you for 2 years now. Excuse me. That's dope.
Silent Service in the Woodward Sports chat says, I love MCDC. If the Lions hired Harbaugh, I'd be laughing my rear off just to piss off MSU fans.
What?
I don't know.
That's just
Hey,
regular cousin Michigan fan trying to do something, like trying to hide his own pain.
Mike, you're gonna say something about the Ohio State stuff?
I would normally be worried about that game, but Ohio State's offense and Kyle McCord hasn't looked great, at least consistently at all throughout the season. So I'm a little worried about their defense more than their offense. And I think this is going to kind of fire up the Michigan players if Harbaugh isn't there to like go and win this game for them. So I kind of look at it like that. But I'm not too worried about Ohio State's offense, and Michigan's defense has been playing so great this year. So struggling offense with a great defense kind of makes me feel better about it. And you're playing at home, so.
Yeah, to be fair, too, that's like the one thing, like college football is like one of those sports where like talent is going to like drive you a lot of the way there. You see it all the time with the SEC teams versus the Big Ten teams. But it's just, I don't know, it's a lot of people in the comments say it's a slap on the wrist. I think that's fair. Charles, are you a big UFC or big college football guy, or just a Philly fan?
Nah, man, I'm into NFL.
Okay, yeah, me too.
I'm not much of a
college football
watcher since Vince Young and the Rose Bowl. So.
Oh, that's a great game. that was college football at its peak.
That was college football. At its peak.
That's when I stopped watching.
Vince
Maybe
Young,
C.J. Spiller era.
Yeah.
Pat Mahomes, Texas Tech. So
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of like the last time I was watching college football.
Yeah, I'm not a big college football guy for the same reason I just said. Like, if you got a lot of talent, a lot of times you're going to win the games out. It's how we've seen it go. That's why it's no worth. I'm not going to waste my time on a Saturday watching Michigan versus freaking Bowling Green, even though that was a close first half. We all know what it comes to, like the second half. Again, that's coaching though.
Yeah.
When you see those second half adjustments, and then they come out and it's a blowout from then out. That's the Jim Harbaugh effect. Who do you guys expect? I guess filling for the head coaching role? Because I know they took turns last time around. You expect that again, or what?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll have his dad on the sideline again. Maybe he'll have some other people come down there. Who's the offensive coordinator? Sharon Moore? Isn't that the offensive coordinator?
That's who I think would be. That's my pick. I think would be taken over for when he's gone is Sharon Moore.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I got nothing for you, man. I mean, it's just, if anything, too, like, if you're able to survive, the Ohio State game is the game you definitely want to survive. That's the one that I'd be nervous about. Penn State, did you guys see the head coach with, like, their promo for the game? He's like
trolling.
Yeah, doing the signs or whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, I think the Ohio State game is the one game I'd be nervous about. Other than that, you just got to survive into that Big Ten championship game, past that, and then into the playoffs. And obviously, if he's there for the playoffs, then you're golden. My question is, though, if this, if the judge isn't able to like suspend the suspension or prevent it, whatever word you want to use, like, or even if it stays, like, is there a following punishment after that, or after the 3 games, it's like we're done with it?
Well, the NCAA can still bring down a punishment. Like, they're still doing their investigation. This is from the Big Ten, so we'll figure out what goes on here. Obviously, Michigan is going to use their lawyers and different things to combat this, to send a juncture to try to stop the suspension from happening. I doubt that gets through by Saturday. Like, they play a game tomorrow, so I highly doubt it's already in place by then. So more than likely, Jim Harbaugh isn't going to be on the sidelines for the Penn State game. But we'll see what happens, man. There's still a lot going on. There's still a lot to come out. Like I said, this is just the beginning. Now Michigan's going to battle back. We'll see if the NCAA gets involved, what's going on there. All these Michigan fans saying, oh, leave the Big Ten, blah, blah, blah. Like, you're not going to do that. So we'll see. We'll see.
The other thing, too, is this is technically their second infraction, Jim Harbaugh's infraction.
It's the second time he's suspended this year.
And if you're not mistaken, 2 of those things could be a death penalty. Am I correct? I know you're laughing, but like,
I don't know. Where'd you hear that?
That's just how it goes. NCAA rules.
I'm not sure.
I know NCAA rules it that way.
The first suspension was self-imposed by the university. It was an NCAA suspension. So I'm not sure.
I think I heard that from CBS.
What was he suspended for?
The first one was they'll say a cheeseburger, but he was recruiting during like a dead period where you can't recruit for people.
Most college coaches do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what they all do. And then the NCAA investigators asked him about it, and he told them he wasn't. Like, he lied to them. And they found out he was.
Yeah, of course.
So that happened. And then this one is he was caught, like, people in his program were stealing signs from other teams.
Oh, I seen something about this on social media a couple weeks ago,
like,
I think.
Recording them at games and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's an interesting one, because you assume that a lot of places might have somebody in place to do something like that.
Yeah.
But That's conspiracy theorists, but I feel like that's just a part of the game nowadays. That's why you see every NFL game they covering up their mouth.
Yeah.
And trying to cover up their signs. They got 2-3 coaches doing signs. So, that is a wild one though.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, and like neither of these were NCAA suspensions, so I don't think the death penalty or anything like that comes into service for it. But man, it's just more racking up. He's suspended twice in the same year. We'll see what happens. They're gonna fight this to the end, but
I doubt the Michigan program ever gets.
What's it saying? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
Yeah,
exactly. That's why. Yeah, this whole thing is weird because it's something that everyone's doing. It's just they got caught, but not really caught. They just got snitched on.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
We'll see when we get the facts.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's still a lot more to come out for sure.
Yeah, I think if he's not there tomorrow, they'll figure something out where he's there to finish out the season, and then everything comes next year. If not, it's like one of those like 2-3 year long ass investigations the NCAA has, where they finally took away like Reggie Bush's like Heisman Trophy and stuff like that, like down the line, maybe something like that.